So, what is self realization? Well, self realization is literally how it sounds. It's the realization of our true self, our true state of being, our true nature. So, it's all about identity, who we think we are, as opposed to who we truly are. So, to understand what the true self is, we have to understand what the false self is. The false self has been given many names. The false self, the psychological self, the little self, the ego, the egoic identity, all sorts of different names for this. But basically, it's the identity of the personality. It's who we normally think we are in our personality. But the thing is, our personality changes constantly throughout the course of our lives. If you think about it, a personality can be vastly different at the beginning of somebody's life than towards the end of somebody's life. And it's constantly fluctuating, always going up and down. It's always dependent on what is going on outside of ourselves or what other people think of us. Our personalities are constantly changing to do with our memories, our experiences. Is that really who we are? This ever-changing, fluctuating personality? 1 minute can be up there, next minute can be down there. Is that really who we're saying that we are, our true identity? We might as well say that we don't exist because it's impermanent. Or are we something more fundamental? Is there something deeper to us than this ever-changing personality? So think about this next. When you were little, as a child, you felt like you, what it feels like to be you. And now it also feels like you. It feels the same. There's something that hasn't changed all the way through the years. There's something which is completely permanent and doesn't change. That is our consciousness or our awareness. That is the true self, pure awareness. When we realize this fact, what we find is that our awareness is actually the source of inner peace. There is a silent inner peace inside everyone just waiting to be found. And we access it through different types of meditation. In fact, we call it the journey of meditation. And self-realization is the goal of meditation. So meditation itself, the real goal of it has actually been somewhat lost a little bit in our commercial world. Meditation has become such a commercial business that it's kind of lost a little bit of what it was there for to start with. But the real purpose of meditation, the reason why it was invented thousands of years ago, was to find the true self, for the purpose of self-realization. Right, and so we were talking about self-realization. We've already gone through the idea that self-realization is the realization of our true self, migration of identity from a false self to a true self. And when we find that true self, which is actually pure awareness, we find that it's extremely peaceful. In fact, it's the source of inner peace. So we like to say that in the spiritual layer, there is a silent inner peace, which is in everybody, just waiting to be found. And that is the silent inner peace of our own awareness. And that is the true self. So that's self-realization. Now, some people are ready for self-realization in this lifetime, and some people are not. And to explain that, then we have to talk a little bit about spiritual evolution. Spiritual evolution is the idea that souls reincarnate and evolve over many, many, many incarnations, and the higher mind, which is incarnating from life to life, learns as it goes and evolves and develops spiritually as it goes. And the goal of life and the goal of reincarnation and the journey of life is all about self-realization. We could say that the goal of the universe is self-realization. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, in self-realization, the first type of self-realization that happens is that you become aware that the awareness behind the mind stream is our true self. That's the first step of self-realization. We become aware that that awareness, that conscious presence, that's who we are. Not all the contents of the mind, not the personality, not the psychological identity that we thought we were. It's this silent inner piece of our own awareness. We first become aware that that is who we are. That's our true nature. That's our true state of being. And then afterwards, the realization grows. We start to realize that actually that awareness that we feel as our true self is not just limited to us, it's everywhere. We actually start to realize that that awareness, that conscious presence inside of us, is the awareness of the universe. It is the universal awareness. And it's not just limited to ourselves, to an individual. It's the same awareness in everyone. So there is one consciousness, one universal awareness, and it is expressed through many conscious beings in the universe. So that's the second stage of self-realization, becoming aware that our own consciousness is the universal awareness. So spiritual evolution is the idea that the goal of the universe is to become aware of itself. The goal of the universe is to become self-realized. And it does this through the journey of life. It does this through the evolution of life. On a planet like ours, life starts from all the way at the basic beginnings of life and then grows and grows and grows. It grows in levels of complexity and intelligence, and awareness grows and grows and grows through that journey of life until at some point an animal on that planet becomes self-aware. Now you could say that a small mammal or a reptile is not self-aware. It has awareness, it is conscious, but it is not self-aware. It doesn't know what it is. Now move up the chain of evolution to, say, something like a dog. Some dogs are not aware of themselves, but some dogs have a basic level of self-awareness. You put a mirror in front of some species of dogs and they will recognize themselves as a dog. Now take it up a notch further down the evolutionary line and we get to humans, the most evolved species on this planet. Now, humans are self-aware. They know that they are human beings. But that's not the end level of self-awareness. There's another level of self-awareness possible. That's when the universe itself, the source of the universe itself, actually realizes that it is awareness. And it is being expressed through these individual conscious beings. So the one becomes the many. And then the many become one. Because self-realization is a process of realizing that there is only one consciousness, only one awareness, and that is unity. And that's when we start having feelings of unity and experiencing unity.